Hello YouTube, it is December 30th, 2018, and unfortunately I'm wrapping up the new year with a story about y'all president, honey. I didn't want to do this. I actually wanted to be on my beauty channel to do a video and give a review, but my Crohn's disease has been kicking my behind, among other things. So yeah, I'm not in the mood to give, because when I do my reviews as far as me, my aesthetics and as far as skincare, I like to be in an upbeat mood so it don't come off with the video. So I said, look, let me do a commentary instead, and give my thoughts on the subject of building a wall. And due to the nature of this video, for any new people who's coming on here, no, I'm not bald headed, honey. My hair is currently back in a ponytail. Not bald headed just yet. I am still suffering from hair loss, which I have been battling with my Crohn's and, getting back. I got that video coming up. I've been saying that for the longest. I got the pictures and everything, but that will be on my beauty channel. But back to this subject at hand while y'all are here. The one thing that does lead to my hair loss is this stress and constant talk of, building the wall, building the wall, building the wall. And this is taken away from all the black people getting jobs. It's like, I sit up here and watch darn on white liberals and white Republicans equally. Because it's like, here y'all is speaking for a group of people, and then I don't see not nail black person on either side of y'all table. Like, you stay wanting to speak for somebody. It's like, no, first of all, can you at least get somebody that is actually would be affected by this? Because they like to keep saying black people are affected when these Mexican immigrants come. And I'm on both sides of the fence when it comes to that. So as a predominantly black, person for the most part, that comes from the South, that comes from very humble beginnings. Obviously, I'm not upper middle class by any means. I think I can speak on this subject because, I'm about tired of seeing everybody else on here. And then the few black people that you see speak on the subject is like, the Omarosa-like people of the world, the Stacey Dashes of the world. It's like, that's not a good, accurate representation of speaking for the everyday, struggling black person like myself who's a darn on small business owner. So how does this affect me with Mexicans coming in and taking jobs and, they're, all of them are rapists and terrorists and drug dealers to hear your president tell it, honey. I'm actually on mixed feelings about that. My thing is this, I am not for the wall, and it's not for the reason that y'all are thinking. I am for border control. I'm for enforcing that American citizens should come first. Latinas, we understand the struggles. Once again, as a black American person who's a descendant from chattel slavery and still goes through, the bull, shit that we go through today as black Americans with police brutality, colorism, texturism, featureism. If some people that are more blacker than me with, wider noses, full lips, they're discriminated against. If you got kinky hair in the workplace, you're discriminated against. We just seen a clip of a boy who's biracial. He had dreadlocks and the white darn on woman was cutting his dreadlocks out. So trust me, we as black people, we understand about being profiled on a daily basis. We can't go to school without somebody wanting to cut the hair off. We can't sleep at the darn on park. Or on the park bench without somebody saying that we're doing something. We can't go to our own houses without people wanting to follow us. We can't darn on redeem a coupon without coupon Carl wanting to darn on start some shit with us. We know. However, as citizens of this United States who've been here for over 12 generations, because I actually did a genealogy on my family, and my family has been here for some centuries. For y'all that don't know, I do come from a mixed race family of, Eastern Band Cherokees, European French, and African. I found out my dominant African is actually the Congo, and followed by Bantu Mali. So, with that being said, 12th generation, black American. All my darn on Africans been here since the 1700s, at least on my side of the family. Mexicans come in here. I will say they do take jobs at lower. They are notoriously known, and we're just going to point that fact out. There is no darn on. And if my lighting goes down, I'm sorry, y'all. I just got one bug, and it's been raining for the past couple days, so I adjusted in the editing if I can, but I will say honestly, Mexicans do take jobs from, people who are construction workers. Now, they ain't taking jobs from somebody like me. So, there's this misconception that Mexicans are coming up in here taking all the jobs. No, we need to specify what jobs they're taking. They're not coming over here infecting, a licensed esthetician job. They are affecting people like my cousins who, did not go to college or, just went and got a skilled trade and they got, they do construction or whatever. Mexicans for the longest back in the day before, America started cracking down on this, would come up in here undocumented. They'd be in a house of 20 people at a time, and they're darn gone got lowball black people on jobs because black people want a fair wage, and then we get miscast as, we trying to be uppity and bougie. But it's like, well, we already built up America. I hate to toot our own horns, but we built America. We built the infrastructure. We are the largest spending people in darn on America. Black people are $1 trillion spending power. If we want to get paid at least the bare minimum wage, I think we as black Americans have the right to demand a fair, equal wage. And now you have these group of brown-skinned people come in and then cut us because in their country they can darn on afford to darn on work on $4 an hour. Whereas a black person, we seem too darn on uppity if we demand $10, $12 an hour. When you see that a majority of people on food stamps are the part of the working poor. Now, why is that? Because once again, I did a video about this, and it had a lot of mixed reviews. It's actually my most popular video this year, and I think I actually was wearing this same shirt, so it's very ironic on this. But I made a video on food stamps, and people was talking about, well, black people need to get off food stamps, and they need to get off welfare and all this. And then they need to get out their ass and get a job. And then when I tell them, well, do you know over 50% of people on food stamps are part of the working poor? That due to your largest employer, Walmart, paying them less than a living wage, they're working over 40 hours a week. And they can still qualify for food stamps. So now what do you got to say about that now when you find out that the person that's on food stamps works over 40 hours a week and still qualify for food stamps? And then you penalize them when they call you out on that and they want the raise. But then when they go to construction and they upgrade a job because, obviously, you ain't going to get paid too much from your McDonald's and your Walmarts and, your Targets and stuff. You want to get a trade or whatever. But then that becomes difficult because now you don't went to school. Now, since you went to school, now you got a student loan debt. So not only you tried to go to school to upgrade yourself, now darn on Sally Mae, Neil Net, or whatever your loan provider is trying to get their payment out of you. So you can't afford to take less. But then this Mexican comes in undocumented, did not have to go to school for the trade, don't have to get verified through social security numbers. And then you're left without a job. Now you done went to school, they still want their darn on money. Now you got to go back to McDonald's, but wait, now they darn on require Spanish to be darn on spoken in darn on Texas. Now that's where I draw the motherfucking line. I'm sorry, but not motherfucking sorry. And before y'all say, oh well, technically, we're gonna get to the Native American aspect in a moment with that excuse with Native American, they more Native and everything. We're gonna get to that in a moment. But as far as the Spanish shit, I do not believe that it should be a mandatory requirement for an entry-level job unless the job is literally translator, because, bitch, I am a translator. I used to darn on have to translate darn on French at the darn on Cumberland County Courthouse. So I know about translator jobs. But you should not darn gonna be mandatorily required to darn gonna be bilingual in a darn on American state. It's like, bitch, you coming here. I understand you running away from darn on drug dealers and shit. Not that it does much good, because they done came right behind you and done came up in the motherfucking country too. And they done made it so bad where you all generalized as drugs and rapists and terrorists. And do I think all Mexicans are like that? No. Do I think it's just a small minority? Yes. I would say it's a good 20%. But the problem is, it is enough to where it darn gonna generalizes everybody. And the ones who are not drug dealers, rapists, and terrorists, you still got to take the fault that you are coming up in here. You are guilty of lowballing darn on black American citizens, undocumented. And then you get to take your money home where it gets converted and it's a darn gone living wage. Whereas black people, we didn't get looked down upon for darn gone demanding the living wage here. But then when we have to settle, then we still get kicked in the behind by white people saying we on food stamps. We working 40 hours a week and we lazy. Some of these people got 2 jobs and qualify for food stamps. But we lazy though. You see why black people are indifferent of Mexicans? So when you hear black people say they actually are for Trump, I can actually understand it. Is Trump still very much racist? Is he very much a bigot? Yes, he is. And anybody who darn gone is going to come up on here and defend it is darn gone stupid. He was found guilty of darn gone disparaging, not giving his houses to black people back in the 70s. This is a person who still disrespects the tribe that Pocahontas descends from by calling Elizabeth Warren Pocahontas, even though the Virginia Powhatan tribe done told him multiple times to stop referencing they descendant to darn on Elizabeth Warren. This the same person who darn gone honored darn on Navajo Indian. No, was they Navajo Indians? I think they was Navajo Indians. Yeah, now, I think there was Navajo Indians at the White House in front of a picture of all presidents, darn on the one responsible for the Indian Removal Act. But once again, this is a person who don't have a 5th grade education. You know, if he had the education past a 5th grade, he would have known that it wouldn't probably be, appropriate to honor Native Americans in front of the one president that's actually responsible for the dang on Trail of Tears. So just on an ethnics level, if you had enough common sense as a president, you wouldn't honor Navajo Indians in front of a president that actually was responsible for the darn Trail of Tears. But then again, this is the same person. Since we're speaking of Navajo Indians, let's go on head down to the Sioux Indians of North Dakota. This is the same person who darn gonna allow for the Dakota Access Pipeline to still darn gonna pump tens of thousands of gallons of darn gonna oil through the precious Sioux Indians rivers. And these are the Native Americans that are here. The reason why I darn gonna went to talking about the Native Americans is because Mexicans like to darn gonna say, well, we got 30 to 40% Aztec. Yeah, number one, your Aztec Indian is of that region of the Americas, which is in Mexico, not in North America. Yes, you are you are Native American, but that does not mean your Indian ancestry is of the areas of the modern day United States of America. Let's make that the differentiation. And furthermore, the Native American tribes that are here are not even being treated right. So to speak up on behalf of the Native Americans, it's like, before we darn going allow free reign for all these Mexicans to come up in here freely, can we take care of the Native Americans that are here? I think the darn gone Sioux tribe will want their darn gone land back and want the water to stop the tens of thousands of gallons of oil from getting pumped through their precious river that you took through them. Through eminent domain in 2016. President Obama, you not darn gone exempt from this either. So don't think I'm on here just trashing Trump. I understand darn gone President Obama got some shit up in this too, because he could have stopped that from happening as well. He could have shut that down, but you know, as a person who's half white himself and half African, you know, he don't relate to neither black nor, you know, Native American struggles. So it was easy for him to turn a blind eye to this as well. So he's not exempt. But that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. My thing is this with Mexicans. When it comes to this wall is not going to do any darn own thing. Because number one, nobody has not told me, how is this wall going to be built in a way where it doesn't affect American properties? Because it's not like it's just one straight line. This darn wall will have to go across in such a way where American houses would darn now be reclassified in Mexico. If you was to build a perfect wall to cut off the border, or if you're standing on the current border and reinforcing the border, oh, okay, maybe. But if you're thinking about building a central perfect wall, it would actually cut off American homes. So are we willing to lose American homes? Is we going to reimburse the people who are now classified as Mexicans that were born here in America? If you darn gonna build this wall and it goes through their darn on property lines? That's what I'm not understanding with this wall. How is we going to build this wall where American-born citizens who are not Mexican at all is going to now be reclassified in darn on Mexico? Is they going to get a reimbursement and be provided with additional benefits to relocate outside of the redistribution of this darn on wall? Number two, who's going to be the overseer of the darn on building of this wall? Because obviously we see our darn on president is reckless with money. This is a person who darn got bankrupt with a casino. How is you so incompetent that the house darn loses? The house is always rigged to win. But this is the darn president who got the intellect less than a 5th grader. He doesn't know that it's morally insensitive to give a honor to Navajo Indians in front of a president responsible for the Indian Removal Act. This is a person who did not know that the U.S. Virgin Islands was part of the darn United States. This is a person who did not know that Puerto Rico is a darn American darn territory. How is this person going to deal with financial issues? Because he's a so-called billionaire, even though we haven't seen over 17 years of his darn tax returns to even prove of this darn claim. We're taking it face value on his Trump towers, which have not been doing well. His darn Trump ties, which are made in China, but I thought we was American first. You couldn't get no Americans to darn make the ties. Also, the irony that you darn fighting with these Mexicans, but you also get some ties and your suits made in Mexico as well. So you're just a walking contradiction all over. You're more so just pandering versus being serious with your darn rhetoric. This is a darn person who failed not 1, not 2, not 3, but darn 6 motherfucking casinos. If you can't even darn make a darn casino profitable, how in the hell you supposed to deal with darn border control? This is a person who darn wiped out so much of his security budget that he had to let go over half of his darn security staff within the first year of being in office. But you accuse darn President Obama of being lazy. But if you wasn't on the darn golf course, which they recorded that you was on the golf course more times within your first year of being president of the United States than darn President Obama has in his entire 8 years of office, which led to the darn security budget being dried out, which you had to let go over half your security team. You just recently dropped $14 million on security patrol in the motherfucking border for just 2 security guards. Well, hell, must be nice. Well, bitch, give me a motherfucking AR-15. If you're gonna pay me $7 million, I'd be darn GI motherfucking Jane for the darn chick. Honey, that's one thing I will say about darn Trump. Since you so reckless for money, let it be in reckless in my motherfucking favor. Darn if you really worried about giving black people a job, bitch, give me $7 million motherfucking dollars. Must be nice. I tell you real quick, I darn be GI. My hair is already pulled the fuck back. I got my hair pulled back. I know how to darn on shank a bitch. Honey, I'm sorry to my Mexicans, but I'll be motherfucking G.I. Jane at the darn on border. You come past me if you motherfucking want to. I'm gonna darn gonna light it up. This is a person who darn gonna gave $14 million for just 2 armed security guards. 2 armed security guards supposed to guard the entire border that darn gonna span miles upon miles upon miles. Must be nice. Like I said, bitch, give me an AR-15 and a darn on Mountain Dew. I'll be right out there in the heat of the night. I don't give a damn. 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm sipping my motherfucking Mountain Dew. You come across this motherfucking bitch if you want to, I'm gonna light your ass up. But on a serious note, if this is a person who darn gone spent $14 million on 2 darn gone security guards, how in the hell is we gonna really trust for this wall to even get put in darn gone? This is my darn gone solution for this darn gone wall crap. Number 1, do away with the wall altogether. I think Republicans and Democrats that are for border control would agree with this solution better. If you want to set the darn on example of deterring Mexicans from coming here, why not darn gone use your influence with the National Guard to darn gone take on the darn gone drug and gang infested darn gone areas that are already darn gone rampant. That way it will set the tone in precedent that, okay, you can sneak your ass up in here if you want to. But this is what's going to happen if you get caught. Because it's like, it seems like this wall is only a barrier. This wall is just a way to, oh, okay, we're not going to really deal with the problem. We're going to try to keep pushing the problem out. It's like, okay, they can get around this wall so many different ways. You stop them at this border. What is stopping them from darn on just coming in through the Canadian side instead? You think Mexicans don't have you think they don't have travel? You don't think they don't have passports in a way where, or the ability to travel where they can just deviate around the border? Like, what? You're stopping them from coming in from one area, from Mexico through California. What's stopping them from coming in on the damn coastline? What is stopping them from darn on just not segregating into just coming in on another area of sorts? And then they say they got darn on tunnels and shit that actually would go underneath the wall. So how far deep is this darn on wall going to go? Because they make it seem like they already got some darn on tunnels and shit that actually go down way past 6 feet. So I'm trying to figure out how in the hell the wall is going to be effective. And some of these darn on Mexicans darn on got tunnels going darn on as much as a dozen feet below the darn on surface. You got Mexicans that can darn on, hell, they even got these liberals with these motherfucking ladders. Talking about ladders for the darn on wall. It's like, I'm sick of both y'all motherfuckers. You got this one darn on building the wall, but has not mentioned about none of the darn on illegal Mexicans that are already here. You darn on taking out innocent darn on DACA children, but you're not dealing with darn on Chirac. This motherfucker ain't serious. This motherfucker's darn on pandering. This ain't about darn on taking out illegal drug dealers. Like I said, yes, for Mexicans, I feel y'all plight. As a black person, I told y'all, we are discriminated every day. As Native Americans, we are discriminated every damn day. You have a darn on president who keeps disrespecting the Powhatan tribe. And I know I'm mispronouncing that. Y'all know my band is Eastern Band Cherokee. I'm not darn on from Virginia, so excuse me to my Indians over there. But he keeps disrespecting Pocahontas. President Obama allowed for darn on Native Americans to get shot down, and he didn't use his ability as president to darn on enforce the ceasement of Native Americans for their freedom of assembly. They try to defend their darn own birthright land that they was here for. You can't tell them to go back to motherfucking Africa. They getting shot down with pellet guns and stuff for darn on standing in unity in the water. See, this is why let me just say this. This is why I love my tribe better. Because my tribe didn't take this shit back in the day. My tribe was known to darn gonna get some motherfucking arrows and darn gonna start shooting motherfuckers down. And then as far as my African, the Congo was among the most resistant tribe. See, I come from a resistant tribe of seas. I come from the Cameroons and I come from the Cherokees. I'm from a darn gone tribes of people that don't take this type of bullshit. But anyways, they'll learn someday soon, honey. But as far as Mexicans, we understand your plight. However, my thing is this. With the asshole we got in office now, he probably won't listen to this type of policy. But my thing is this. Why don't we just set up something with our neighboring countries? We supposed to be the leading country in the world. I think, why can't we set up an immigration policy for refugees that are throughout, Canada, that are throughout France and Italy and other parts of Europe? Like, how come we got to take on the whole burden? We understand the American dream, but darn gone, France ain't that bad of a country either. I speak fluent French. I darn gone love the French culture. It's good over there in France. Of course, you got to learn how to speak French, and you got to learn about the la supermarchés and all of that, because it's not, as commercialized over there as it is over here. But still, Mexico to French, I think that would be more of an easy transition. So it's like, how come we don't come up with a neighboring darn gone refugee policy where we can lighten the load on, innocent Mexicans who are coming in who are seeking asylum? Like, how come we just can't darn gone help facilitate, Mexicans to Canada, to France, to England, to Italy, etc. And then for the ones that are here, after we get rid of the bad ones, get them hooked up with jobs and have them take the test and make them learn English. Because my thing is this, you shouldn't darn gonna be American citizen, naturalized, and it's so much of a darn gone problem with English that native born Americans have to learn how to speak Spanish by default. Like, bitch, no. Because my thing is this, when my people were brought here, y'all didn't learn how to speak darn gone Kiswahili. Y'all didn't learn how to speak darn gone Ghanaian and Nigerian for us. And I do believe we make up more people here than darn gone Mexican citizens overall. But Spanish people, y'all was able to come in all, and then, some of us are because Spanish is not really a race. So you have black people that are Mexican and darn gone Afro-Latina, such as Marla Negra. And since y'all have some of us that are gonna speak Spanish as well, it's like y'all just make it mandatory for us to now learn another language that's not of our people. So it's like, here y'all come up in America, where English is the universal language. And then it puts another burden. Now we got to learn how to speak another darn on language that's not ours. But we've been here since the 17th century. And I ain't never seen a darn on policy in school where, since we got, centuries worth of black people here, you think we might want to put an African language on the major curriculum? Because every time in school, you always have to learn either English or French. You got your 4 years of English, you got your foreign language being French or Spanish. And maybe Italian if you're lucky. But it's like, where is there ever an African language in school? In every major public school system. Even though we got black people in America that's been here since the 1600s, the 1700s. There's never an African language for us. But now we got to deal with this shit. But like I said, my thing as far as the immigration for refugees, we should not have to take over the heavy burden. And as far as if you want to make the example towards drug dealers, if your darn on president was really serious about doing this darn on wall to tackle drug dealers, it would be far more cheaper for him as the president to use his darn on power and influence of the army. Because here's a fun fact, America has more darn on weaponry, artillery than darn on every area in the world times 7. You heard me correctly. We got more artillery and weapons than 7 times the combined total of China, Russia, the UK, Australia, and every other nation combined. We got over 7 times more weaponry and artillery. We got some of the most advanced darn on United States Army forces. So how come you don't get them darn on army people out of darn on Africa guarding some darn on oil? Because according to your president, Africa ain't nothing but a shithole countries. But you can't keep your ass up out of Africa. You're darn on up into Africa calling people niggas and shit. You got darn on Asian people over in Africa. You got Russian people trying to get in. French still darn on want to keep the colonization and won't darn on free the Africans from having to pay back dues to them from when they got conquered. But if it ain't shit, how come all these groups still keep going to Africa, including the United States Army over there in darn on Syria and Iraq and stuff, guarding oil mines and stuff? If it ain't really nothing, why don't you use that darn on same army and bring them back here and they can guard the darn on areas instead? Instead of spending darn on $14 million on darn on 2 people. But like I said, if you want to darn on add another person on there for the time being, bitch, I take it. I'll be motherfucking G.I. Jane with my motherfucking Mountain Dew, bitch. I sure will be G.I. Jane for $7 million. But more economically, speaking for somebody who has a background in business as well, I would think it would be more financial if you use the darn on army to darn on guard the damn wall. If they guard this area, first and foremost. Why is they over there guarding darn on area in Africa? They are U.S. Army. Why aren't they guarding the U.S. damn soul? You got them over there darn on guarding some darn on oil that don't belong to them. Darn on shooting up innocent black brown skin and black people over there. Why don't you darn on have them guard the darn on black people over here? And the white people and the Native Americans over here. The United States citizens. That's my darn on thought when it comes to the U.S. Army, first and foremost. Number 2, we can use the National Guard to darn on take out these darn on Mexican drug cartels that are running rampant in Chirac. Chirac went from darn on being black controlled to darn on Hispanic control. So you know that there's a clear epidemic of darn. You keep talking about all these Mexican drug dealers, rapists, and terrorists. Well, here you got a whole area where you can say, well, this does represent the majority of them over here. So if you were serious about darn on doing this to take out the darn on bad side of the Mexicans, well, why don't you go to where you know a large influx of them are at? Why haven't neither President Obama nor Donald Trump has used the power of the military to darn on clean out Chirac and darn on get these Mexican drug dealers up out of here? Because there's where they at. Wilmington, North Carolina. Make sure you don't darn on attack any innocent black people, white and Lumbees in that area, because you know they're very mixed race, so you might get some of them confused. You know how them people do. When they see a large group of brown skinned people, they think we all look alike. So I want to make sure they don't, take out the Lumbee tribe in that area. Since you still don't want to give them federal recognition, but they got more Native American up in you than you do. But y'all still don't want to give them darn on recognition. But if you want to go in and get the Mexicans, why don't you go ahead and take out the Mexicans that are running drugs all over through darn on Red Springs and Wilmington, North Carolina? Why don't you go to darn on Chirac? Why don't you go to certain areas in Panama City? And make sure you don't confuse them with the darn on Dominicans and the Cubans. Because once again, when you hear everybody speak Spanish, you think we all just alike. So, once again, Because you know this is the same president who didn't know the U.S. Virgin Islands was part of the United States. So I definitely would think he would be confused when he hears multiple people speaking Spanish. He thinks, everybody who speaks Spanish might be Mexican. So he might darn gonna get to shooting down in Panama and darn gonna be shooting up innocent darn gonna Cuban and darn gonna Dominican folks. So make sure you hire, while all this darn on rehiring people after all these people seem to be the problem on your team, the team that your ass motherfucking picked. All these motherfuckers getting darn gone re-picked after darn gone only 2 years of you being in motherfucking office, bitch. Why don't you get a motherfucking history teacher on your motherfucking team? I'm so sick of y'all goddamn president, it don't make sense. All these darn on having to replace people. Why don't the darn on president pick a dang on history teacher on his team? Why don't he get a business person on his team? Because clearly he showed that he don't have it. And then Mike Pence is just sitting back, just waiting and hoping that his ass will certainly get kicked out. So then now the LGBTQ community had to have something to worry about with his darn on homophobic darn on ass. And then Paul Ryan and all them bitches darn on too scared to darn on say anything. Just letting the whole Republican Party down. And like I said, I'm sick of both of these damn parties. Cause y'all ain't doing nothing for the everyday working people. Your damn show ain't darn on advocating for black people while y'all keep using us as the token darn on speaking rhetoric. The darn on well, they coming in here taking jobs from black people. Like I said, if you darn gonna give us all a darn on living darn on wage and darn gonna enforce darn on punishment to people who are lowballing darn on black people instead of darn on giving them darn on tax write-offs and cuts, you wouldn't have this darn on issue where it would be possible for darn on Mexicans to lowball black people. If you darn gonna use the power of the military and they're gonna bring their ass back home, you wouldn't have to build a $5 billion wall. And as far as the ones who are still wreaking havoc in the inner cities, if you just use the power of the motherfucking National Guard, and because it seems like y'all can use the power of the National Guard every time black people get together to protest our own. It seems like when we darn gonna protest the lives of innocent people getting slain and shot down and shit, y'all somehow can find that National Guard then. But then you got darn gone Mexicans running around in Chirac. I haven't seen the motherfucking National Guard yet for their ass. I ain't seen one National Guard. It seems like the National Guard only gets called when this darn gone deep melanated people darn gone walking down the streets when one of our own got shot down. When one of our own is mysteriously hung up in a darn gone police prison. How did Sandra Bland end up hanging herself? I thought you didn't supposed to have nothing in the prison. Didn't y'all check her pockets and everything before y'all darn gone arrest her on some frivolous charges? But when we protest that, all of a sudden we got to bring the National Guard in for us, honey. And when we see darn gone a Philando Castile shot down at point blank range, and the NRA don't say nothing. But the NRA wants the darn gone arm darn gone teachers with guns and say it's their Second Amendment rights to defend. But when they found out Philando Castile was an assistant teacher who did not have no record, no background, it was his right to disclose to the officer that he had a weapon in the car. That way, the officer didn't think that he was reaching for said weapon when the officer asked for his ID. And we seen him shoot reckless where he could have killed 2 other innocent bystanders. We seen all this on camera. He still got acquitted. And we march and protest on that. And we're still the darn gone wrong people. Even when we can prove that our darn gone murders are happening on camera. But you know that's going into a whole nother topic. That's a darn gone 2-hour video within itself. So once again, to my Mexican people, we as black people know the ideas of struggles. Because even with all the struggles that we go through, we still got to face darn on shit from everybody else. And this is not to sound insensitive when we say that there needs to be border control. But if you want to come in America, you have to do it right. You have to go through the asylum. You have to wait till at least 2021 for us to darn on talk about fair darn on, citizenship rights and stuff. Because once again, we got a darn on president in here with less than a 5th grade education. That's darn on sending darn on children that were basically born here almost. It's like you kicking out darn on Mexican. You keep talking about these drug dealers, but you kicking out Mexicans that were brought here when they was 3 months old. I don't understand y'all president. Your president is darn on one sense talking about kicking out dangerous drug dealers. But the most darn on people that he kicked out were darn on DACA recipients. And once again, Obama too. I don't want y'all saying, well, Obama did it. Well, I'm putting them in this motherfucker shit too. Between both of them, they have sent more darn on DACA children over the darn on border than anything. That don't even know nothing about Mexican culture because they were brought up as Americans. But then you're not doing nothing about the ones in Chirac. So ultimately, darn on America just let everybody brown skin down. You let down the DACA. You let down the DACA Mexicans. You let down black people on a continuously darn on daily basis and just spit on us. You let down Native Americans on a daily basis and darn on spit on us. You darn gonna let down darn on hard working poor white people and darn gonna generalize darn on white people as if everybody's doing well, when actually white people are the leading ones on food stamps and stuff that you generalize that black people are on. You're not doing nothing for the darn gone low class white people. You're not doing nothing for black people overall. You're not doing nothing for Native Americans. You're not doing nothing for darn gone innocent Mexicans. All this motherfucking rhetoric that y'all talk is for your damn selves. And we are just over it. We're over the darn gone trying to pin one race against the other. Pin the black person against the Mexican person. Pin the Native American against this. When you don't care about either one of them. And when you hear a darn gone president darn gone glorifying Norway over darn gone Africans and generalizing all Africans as shithole countries, but our darn gone top leading doctors in darn gone America happen to be darn gone African. Our darn gone scientists happen to be African. Including one that darn gone came up with a recent way to darn gone take down cancer in the body. That can darn gone get rid of darn gone radiation and chemotherapy treatments. You think she got funded for her project yet? But once again, we can just talk about all the contradictions that y'all president who got less than the darn gone education of a 5th grader does on a daily basis. My thing is this, the ultimate conversation is about this wall. My thing is for this wall, if you want darn on true darn on control of Mexicans coming in, why don't you make the example of the ones that are already here? Stop darn on focusing this $5 billion on the wall and darn on send the National Guard in. You have the power of the National Guard for free. You don't need to raise up no GoFundMe. Y'all talking about, they done raised $18 million for the wall. Bitch, you can darn on something to go, the National Guard right now to take out Chirac. This is why I say your president is backwards. You can darn, like I said, anytime black people darn gonna marching peacefully. And yes, some of us have flipped over a car too. And may have darn gone thrown it. And I condemn them motherfuckers. Because it's like, number one, I don't know why you darn gone taking out the stores and shit. They darn gone insured. You darn gone destroying your own city, you darn gone fools. It's like, if you're going to, and I hate to say this, but if you're going to at least destroy the city, don't destroy your own town. And then you wonder why your grandma can't get no medication the next day. She darn gone can't get a Percocets and a arthritis medication. You done fucked up the darn gone pharmacy. They got to take a couple days to darn gonna get the insurance to darn gonna fix the shit back up. So it's like, I don't advocate for the destruction of darn gone stores and shit, but it's like it's still ironic that, you know, Mexicans do the same thing out there, and not one National Guard has been called in yet. Once again, the darn gone hypocrisy. So yeah, that's my darn gone thoughts on that. I done spoke on it. Like I said, this is a topic that go on all damn day. I'm sick and motherfucking tired of this bullshit, y'all. But once again, what are y'all thoughts? What are y'all thoughts on y'all darn gone president advocating for this darn gone $5 billion wall, when for darn gone free 99 we have the budget already set for the National Guard? Because like I said, anytime a group of black people get the darn gone hooting and hollering for our rights justifiably, y'all they don't darn gonna talk about us no more. We went from darn gone, oh, we got to defend darn gone black people from working because they coming in here taking the jobs from darn gone black people. Honey, half the jobs that they take is darn gone jobs black people don't want no more. Honey, we darn gone went through 400 years of darn gone chastise slavery, and then over 100 years of a darn gone forced darn gone Jim Crow and indentured servitude of darn gone working for pennies on the damn dollar, and now got the darn gone work in North Carolina for $7.25 a motherfucking hour. We're done working the darn gone cotton picking jobs. So if they want to come in and get those jobs, okay. But as far as the construction jobs, it's like, oh no, bitch, you gonna have to go and get this motherfucking student loan just like my ass have to. Now that's where I don't agree with the shit at. It's like, okay, now if you want to come up in here and pick cotton, and you know, if you want to do all this darn on, you know, garden work and all of this, okay, have at it. Because they done did that shit for us. We done went through that shit for free for 400 damn years of being whipped and shit. So excuse us if black people don't want them jobs no damn more. But when you have a darn on president who's talking about making America great again, and he references a time period of being good back in pre-1865, of course he thinks that black people still want those darn on jobs though. Because that's where his mindset is at. But once again, y'all leave y'all thoughts on this darn gone wall. After what all I done proposed, y'all think this wall is still feasible? That it's going to cut off darn gone American darn gone homes? The way that this wall gets divides up the area? Or if they build up on the existing wall, how does that darn gone help with the darn gone tunnels that go below the damn wall? And how does that darn gone help get out the Mexicans that are already here? That's already past the damn wall. I think it would be more darn on feasible to use the damn National Guard to darn on deter people from coming in, because they'll know, okay, I can come up in this bitch. But the darn on punishment for when if I get caught is going to be so severe that I might want to think twice about it. Versus, oh, I can build, you can build this wall, I can easily get past it, and then there's no darn on repercussions, but, you know, get sent to ice and just get tossed back over, and then you can repeat the process of going through this wall again. Because once again, what's going to be the darn on punishment if the darn on, because this wall is not no magic barrier. Yes, this wall might deter a large influx from easily getting in, but that doesn't make it impossible for them not to get in. Like I said, they can go underneath the wall. You got darn on liberals darn on talking about giving the motherfuckers ladders to climb above the wall. Donald Trump done blew through the motherfucking budget. He darn gone gave 14 million people just for 2 people to guard the wall. You think they're going to be able to guard this entire wall with 2 people? Or even 3 people. But if you want to be foolish enough to hire a 3rd person, bitch, I'll leave my darn on email address down below. Cause I would brown nose for $7 million. And hell, give me the motherfucking, I ain't gonna make no promises, but hell, I'll be G.I. Jane at the motherfucking wall, bitch. But I can be G.I. Jane all day. That ain't gonna stop. That ain't gonna permanently darn on create a solution. I might be able to darn on get a good target practice on the, and you know that's darn on bad to say. That's bad to say. Y'all know I'm joking to my Mexican people with that. Joking, not joking. The hell, give me make sure the darn give me some of them pellet bullets. Because I hate the darn because I can't see myself just darn shooting down innocent people. I will have to say at least having some pellet, but $7 million will make somebody do some strange thing for a piece of change. I ain't going to darn lie. But my thing is this: on a serious note, it would be more darn cost effective for us as American citizens to utilize the National Guard to take out the darn drug infested cities that are populated by Mexican drug violence. It would be more cost efficient to get our darn army people that we spend $250 billion annually over there in Africa. You darn worried about trying to store up $5 billion, bitch. You can darn get 10% of the darn army personnel out of Africa. That'll save your ass darn $27 billion right there. So now just darn getting 10% of the army out of darn Africa, you got over 5 times the darn budget that you was darn requesting. Because we spend over $250 billion annually in Africa, when you can just take 10% of the army personnel out of Africa, and that's your $25 billion in darn annual savings right there. But once again, we got a darn president that, lacks the intellect of a darn 5th grader, so he don't even know how to do mathematics that high. Because a person who darn is incapable of darn turning a profit in not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, but 6 motherfucking casinos, if he can bankrupt 6 darn casinos, he don't know how to do basic darn mathematics to darn know to take 10% of the darn army personnel out of Africa and put them on the darn border control of the wall instead, in place of the damn wall, would be more cost effective. And you have $25 billion. So if you still want to build a wall, you have more than enough money. Because you can take the army personnel and the savings that you will darn have from not having to darn send out foreign food and tanks and shit all across the motherfucking river. You can darn accurately pay them and build this darn wall and then have darn money left over. But once again, this is a darn person who don't have the least bit of darn economic, financial, or even morality of sense. This is a darn person who darn gave an imaginary position to Omarosa just to have a token black woman up in there for whatever. We still don't know what position Omarosa even had in the damn White House. You just gave a bitch $180,000, and we don't even know what this bitch even did in the White House, while she got all these darn tapes and tell-all books and shit out on you. You darn was so motherfucking worried about darn President Obama darn wiretapping your darn ass, but half the motherfuckers that you darn appointed in the goddamn White House seem to got some motherfucking shit on your motherfucking bitch ass. Darn Omarosa cunt came out with a damn book. She darn got secret tape recorders and shit. You got Jeff Sessions coming out with darn shit. Every other person that you appointed darn got some motherfucking shit on your motherfucking ass. And none of these people are no historians, no darn mathematicians. It's like, bitch, can you at least darn give a lottery opportunity chance while you picking out all these darn random darn milk dugs and shit, and giving them money? Why don't you darn hire a handful of damn teachers and darn educators? Why don't you darn go and pick a history teacher to be on your motherfucking team, bitch? Why don't you go and get a darn mathematician to be on your motherfucking team, bitch? Because that's what you damn need. This is the first time in the history that we have become so low as a damn country where we need to advocate for a president who's supposed to have a college education and enough sense of a background to have the decent common sense to know the basic division problems, to know about basic Native American darn history and African darn history. But this motherfucker didn't even know the 50 continental United States. This darn motherfucker thought darn Hawaii was a different country. When darn President Barack Obama was proven to be from Hawaii, he said he knew that he was of another country. This proves it. Not knowing that darn Hawaii #1 is an island. And number two, that darn on Hawaii is actually not only an island, but is actually a darn on continental. It's the 50 continental United States. Same thing for the U.S. Virgin Islands being a territory. Puerto Rico being a damn territory of the United States. Talking about they should darn on just fend for their Lord Jesus. This the person that we have talking about a darn on motherfucking wall. What is this goddamn wall going to solve? It ain't going to solve darn on Black Lives Matter. It ain't going to solve Native Americans darn on rights to darn on not getting their damn land taken and darn on being shot down on their land. It's not going to darn on help poor white people who are darn on suffering, also part of the working poor, working over 40 hours a damn week. And darn on still got the darn on rely on stamps and shit in the darn on southern states. It ain't going to darn on solve none of this shit. It ain't gonna help darn on solve the DACA people that darn on got shipped over into Mexico. I mean, this darn on thing about to bring me to the motherfucking tears on this. Now, I mean, this is how far down of America we have come. We have literally darn on allowed a complete imbecile in the darn on motherfucking highest goddamn position in the motherfucking office. All because y'all didn't want a damn woman to darn go in instead. The hatred and sexism of America is so motherfucking strong not to allow a woman to damn lead. Which is why I also advocate we should get rid of the damn electoral college as well. She won by over 3 million darn votes. But darn on electoral college, which says that a group of small minority people get to make the decision for over 1 billion people in America. Because what's not said about this electoral college is that the electoral college has the final decision of appointing the president of the United States. Which is a handful of people that still speaks on behalf of the darn gone of a majority of darn on citizens in America. Our darn on system is corrupt and broken. It's never been for black people. It darn on took from the Native American people. The darn on innocent Mexicans who did not have no choice of being brought here. You darn on ship they ass back and not doing nothing against the darn on Mexican drug cartels that make them all damn look bad. Our whole system is fucked up. And that is not unfortunately going to get darn on resolved within the next 1, 2, or even 5 years. But like I said, that's a whole nother video for a whole nother day on what we can do as American citizens to help darn on dismantle this whole bullshit. But right now, as far as this goddamn wall, I'm not, as a black American citizen, I'm not here for the damn wall. Because the wall ain't going to solve shit in the grand scheme of motherfucking things. So y'all leave, and I know I've been trying to exit for a darn on moment, but I keep darn on, something else keep coming up on this topic. Because like I said, it's so complex on so many myriad of issues that we deal with in America that this wall does not really help in the grand scheme of things. Because like I said, if they was really serious about darn on, taking out these darn on drug dealers, you know where a large percentage of them are at in major cities. Why aren't we using the National Guard to take out these drug dealers? Why are we darn on taking darn on Perez and darn on Gonzalez and the Hernandezes and stuff that were here from 3 months old, and we kicking them out? They ain't had so much as a darn on parking ticket. You kicking darn on innocent children out that yes, they weren't born here, but they was darn on raised here their entire lives. How come we don't have a policy to expedite them to the top of the line to darn on become naturalized citizens? Obviously, they was born here, they was basically, brought up here from birth, from 6 months old, 2 years old, 3 years old. They don't know nothing but American culture. Why don't we expedite them to the darn on top of the line and darn on have them become naturalized citizens? But instead, you got a president advocating for darn on Norway before darn on Mexicans that were basically here from when they was 3 months old. So a darn on, you're saying that a Norwegian person can darn on come here and become more qualified as a darn on United States citizen within maybe a 2-year time frame above darn on Mexican darn on DACA recipients that been here basically their entire lives. How come you darn on don't have a protocol to darn on expedite they darn on naturalization processes instead? Now, once again, this is all in the power of the hands of a president who don't know basic mathematics. So, once again, that's my topic of the day. We at an hour. This video is going to take a long time to edit and bring that. I mean, I ain't going to edit. I'm actually going to leave this up raw. I ain't even going to edit it all. But, you know, just the uploading process to YouTube is going to be a bitch funny. But I think it's worth it. I mean, it's a sad way to end out darn on year into 2019. But maybe in 2019 we can do far better as a people. We can do far better as darn on black Americans. You know, anybody black of the African diaspora, because we have Caribbeans here, we have, you know, Afro-Latinas here, we have first generation Africans here, we have, you know, poor white people that are not racist, because contrary to popular belief, yes, we got some fuck up darn on southern racists that darn gon' vote against their own best interests, because I don't understand how Kentucky can darn gon' be a Republican based state and they asses is the largest people that darn gon' rely on food stamps. It's like you don't even know nothing about economics and you vote against your own best interest to uphold this system that's not even for you as poor white people. Because as poor white people, you got to realize that even in slavery days, there was a classism as well. So if you was poor white, you was still considered, you know, just the creme of the creme of trash. You was just considered the top level of trash. You wasn't treated as bad as black people, but bitch, you ain't been treated equal as well. So this whole system is fucked up against everybody. It makes darn on white people darn on battle against black people, Native Americans, Hispanics. It makes us all fight against each other. And the darn on top rich, right, privileged, racist 1% stands at the motherfucking top. Isn't it about time that we all darn on get our darn on piece of the pie and darn on get the uniting? And like I said, and then you got white people that are not even in that category of racist. Because once again, Hillary Clinton won the majority by over 3 million votes. But once again, you allowed a group of a handful of people to make the decision on behalf of 1 billion people in the United States. So at the end of the day, all the black 13% of the population of black folks here didn't matter. 2% of the Native American population didn't matter. The Hispanics that were born here, they didn't matter. And then the white folks who make up the largest majority of people on food stamps who are part of the working poor. Contrary to popular belief, you want to say they just at home eating bonbons all day, but statistics show that they work in 1 or 2 jobs and still qualify for food stamps because you're giving tax cuts to the largest employers who darn gonna allow this shit to happen. Over 90% of Walmart workers are on food stamps, but they gross more money than the American GDP. Once again, we got to do better coming into 2019. So I'm going to wrap it on up here because, like I said, I've been trying to end this for 5-6 times now, and we could go for hours on this daggone topic. I'm not for the wall. As a black American person, I am not for this damn wall. This wall is not going to solve a goddamn thing in the darn grand sense of grand scheme of things. If you want to darn gonna help black Americans out among, non-racist white people and Native Americans, and you want to help American citizens out overall, listen to this video all the way through. And darn gonna implement some of those policies instead. That's how you can help everybody out, regardless of your political affiliation. Regardless of whether you're Green Party, Tea Party, Independent, Republican, Progressive, or whatever have you. That's how you can help American citizens out. So that being said, if you're darn on serious about this, Hopefully this gets to somebody in Congress and they can darn gonna take my words and implement these policies instead, and have your darn gone president employ a few teachers. So that's it, y'all. Y'all leave y'all thoughts, comments, suggestions down below. Share this, including to your darn gone Congress members, and I will see y'all soon with more videos. Hopefully we'll bring in the new year on a more positive subject. Hopefully I won't have to come in on such a heartfelt topic starting out 2019.